another bird in the fleet from DC Designs. This is certainly in an almost completion stage, waiting for the release. But before anything, if you haven't subscribed yet, and if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to see more updates on flight simming, developments, patches, releases. You've come to the right place. This is more of a community rather than a channel. So hello and welcome. A developer who needs absolutely no introduction, DC Designs, who've been a top player for developing add-ons for flight simming, VRs and many more, have been quite occupied with their team working on developing high-end jets over the last several weeks, mainly focusing on Microsoft Flight Simulator. On a weekly basis, they send us updates on how well they've been progressing, and I've got the chance to include the initial updates, which was almost a couple of months ago. Just this morning, DC Designs have reached out to us to try out their alpha copy, which is still in development stages. So this is not a finished product yet and in the stages of development, and we couldn't wait further to showcase you guys on how interesting this model could be. The F-15E Strike Eagle. The developers have spent a considerable amount of time to ensure that the new platform, which is Microsoft Flight Simulator, should accommodate what changes DC Design want to see and how well with the new platform this can be integrated. Over the last 1 month, they've been really busy and got the opportunity to create their own templates which can support custom animations and can add more strength towards realism. Imagine this, guys, you use your own VR flying this, and this can be more fun than regular planes. This is certainly a thought. With the help of understanding how the new platform can work for DC Designs, it has certainly opened the doors for future projects that include many other amazing jets, including the Concorde. A follow-up video is gonna come on what exactly DC Designs would plan for 2021, and it has incredible jets coming up, guys. The F-15 Eagle cockpit looks quite good with all the buttons that have been well integrated with switches, dials and buttons. Along with that, the controls in the WSO position are quite functional too. That means that if you're seated in the rear seat position, you can certainly fly this jet. The cockpit looks quite interesting with all functionalities and is more likely to get a good 4K makeover. A good amount of testing is being involved to see that if any surprise bugs could come up in the last minute. The aerodynamics as well as the performance have seen drastic improvements over the weeks with different stages of developments. The release is scheduled to be January of next year, which is definitely not far from now, and there are a lot of things to be taken care of as this model would be sold in a package of 4 planes. The team is working on different sections of the plane, and this week has been towards the multi-stage afterburner effects, which has quite been a popular demanded item amongst the model. Along with the afterburner request, cockpit lighting is another item which has always been on demand from several weeks from users. As of now, the 3D gauge lighting is not working completely as of yet, which is currently being developed. However, other areas that include panel decals and screens can work quite functionally with the panel light switch being active. We need to understand that there are various items in the cockpit and which are being currently developed with good attention towards the details. That include the floodlight switch, which is attached to the user's point of view and that can act pretty much well, much like a light that miners can carry, and these are effectively used during night times for cold and dark starts. According to DC Designs, most of the work is currently being developed. However, there's definitely some amount of work which is left, and that is right now in the final stages of development. Based on the schedule of release for DC Designs for this specific model, This bad boy should be released during January of 2021, which is when we would be able to see the complete product with all functionalities, updates and details. When asked for the prices, they seem to remain in the same lines of Prepare 3D version as well as the FSX. It's definitely a good strategy by DC Designs to make sure that they don't really raise the prices that can create an inconvenience to users. There are almost 1 million users guys towards this simulator, and DC Designs is quite well known to provide quality content add-ons for different platforms. According to them, they should offer 4 aircrafts in one package, so don't be surprised if the prices remain in the same lines, because some developers have ridiculously raised prices, especially towards Microsoft Flight Simulator. It seems that there were a lot of complications towards developing many items under this model, and specifically for the F-15 Strike Eagle for DC Designs. We should expect to see the systems, functionality and general animations to be complete as of now, as they're working on improving what's there, and the flight model looks pretty accurate, which is quite close to the FSX model and Prepare 3D, and the Eagle can handle well throughout the entire flight. Visibility conditions are also present, so as the armed guard, the GPU boarding ladder and so on can be selected at will when on the ground through custom cockpit switches. The developer is also trying to make sure that custom sounds that can allow more realistic sounds such as engine noise being louder when the canopy is open, along with a few animations, can work as expected. One of the other interesting things about DC Design is that they have several of the models right now in progress, which also include the F-15E as well as the F-14D Tomcat and many other interesting planes under progress, which include the Concorde. So this is definitely an interesting developer who's going to surprise most users like us. Guys, we should expect more updates to come along the way. So for more updates, suggestions, release notes, patches, anything at all that's related to flight simming, this is certainly your place. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would suggest you to subscribe for more updates on this regard and further notifications. Thumbs up if you like this video, as it can certainly make a difference to me. So have a good rest of the day and stay tuned guys.